And sadly, the death of Damon Janes is not an isolated incident. Another football death made local headlines in September of 1965. And even now, 48 years later, classmates of John Riddling say it's a day they will never forget. Here's News 4's Lou Raguse. Lou?
Well, Jackie, this week we received several emails from viewers who remember John Riddling, and now their hearts are going out to the people of Brockton.
I really feel for those kids down there. I know what they're going through.
When Dan Georger heard about the tragedy in Brockton, a 16-year-old football player who died after an on-the-field injury, it took him back to his senior year in high school. Georger played guard for Cardinal Dougherty. In a September 1965 scrimmage at Nichols High School, his good friend and teammate John Riddling suffered a fatal tackle. Riddling was hit twice. He went down after the second hit and said his neck hurt and he couldn't feel his hands or feet.
And he never got up.
John died 2 days later. His brother Rich was in 8th grade when it happened.
He was a close brother.
It's still emotional to talk about.
Excuse me.
At the time, Rittling's death sparked talk of ending the football program at Cardinal Dougherty and other schools. But Rich says his father never blamed the sport or other kids for John's death.
But I remember Dad sending an editorial saying that it shouldn't stop just because of a freak accident. Kids, football is part of life. I mean, you could walk down the street and have an accident.
Rich and the other Rittling boys continued to play football. Georger says his teammates dedicated the rest of the season to John and more.
We dedicated everything we did in his memory. The whole North Buffalo community rallied around that. And I can see that that's happening in Brockton also.
Georger believes the Brockton kids will rally together and appreciate what they have even more. In years down the road, it's something that will always be with them.
John Riddling died 48 years ago, and to this day, I never forget it. The sad thing about it was he missed a lot. Really, if you think about life.
And we've been able to find at least 2 other documented cases where Western New York high school football players have died from football injuries. A South Park high school player in 1926 and a Grover Cleveland player in 1933. A Westfield player, Brett Smith, died from a brain aneurysm during a game in 1975. Reporting live, Lou Raguse, News 4 at 5:30.